Good evening, everyone. Severe Weather Team 9 meteorologist Nathan Chutt with your weather update this evening. The cool down is upon us. Our temperatures have plummeted with respect to this afternoon now going into this evening, although the more shock to our system has already occurred. The biggest drop in temperatures has occurred, dropping these temperatures into the 40s, and now we're going to see a more gradual, likely decrease in cloud cover throughout the night. We'll be tracking more showers moving back in overnight, and this time around likely going to be in terms of snow showers, some snow showers sticking around for tomorrow with some cold, blustery conditions tomorrow. And from there, we're going to notice some chilly conditions carry over to the weekend and maybe even spotting some more rain, snow later Friday into Friday night. So without further ado, thanks so much for tuning in. Let's jump into things, shall we? And of course, the big story right now, our temperatures, which have fallen to the 40s, mid-lower 40s right now across the area. And again, the bigger shock has already occurred. Our temperatures at this point are on a slower decline now for the remainder of tonight into tomorrow morning, as temperatures are going to be more gradually dropping through the 30s and eventually closer towards that 30-degree mark into tomorrow morning. Yes, we are likely near, if not just below that freezing mark for the morning hours. Thankfully, again, this is a gradual process. This is not a flash freeze. We maintain a breeze overnight to help dry out surfaces, but we will be watching with the potential for snow showers moving back into the area. Maybe some light accumulations from those, but it looks to be even primarily on grassy surfaces. What's ushering in this cool down, of course, these gusty winds, right? We've been seeing these wind gusts in excess of 30, even closer to 40 miles per hour throughout today, now continuing into this evening. Current wind gusts 31 mile per hour, New Philadelphia, 20 Wintersville, 23 Wheeling, 26 Cambridge, 22 Pittsburgh, 26 mile per hour wind gusts into Washington, 36 looking into Mansfield, 35 that wind gust in Toledo. As we go through the night, we still could see these wind gusts in excess of 30 miles per hour and even going into tomorrow as well. So again, we're just maintaining this breeze in place here as we extend into Thursday. We're not going to really notice that decrease in wind speed until tomorrow night, and that'll carry over then into Friday with a lighter wind in place. So up until we get into Thursday night, just expect still going to be dealing with some breezy conditions during this stretch. Thankfully, the severe threat did not come to fruition. We still dealt with those showers with this cold front passage, and again, we're going to see some more showers return on the back edge of this system, and you can see that counterclockwise flow around this low pressure, and you'll notice again the back edge, more of those showers, and this time with the cool down, it's in terms of mainly snow showers back in Indiana, Western Ohio. So that's what we're going to be watching move back into the area for the overnight hours. And yes, we will be watching. There is a potential for some snow accumulations, but thankfully it doesn't look like a whole lot. And before we dive into how much we can get a better grasp of the timing, there's those snow showers moving back in, leading up towards midnight, then continuing for the second half of tonight. We're still likely dealing with these snow showers around for tomorrow morning's commute, and even going into midday. I do think in the afternoon and evening hours, though, into the second half of your Thursday, we're going to start to notice a lot of these snow showers taper off and maybe some lingering flurries later Thursday. But a lot of the snow showers are beginning to taper off later into the day, and then we should dry up completely tomorrow night. And this is where we can, again, get some decrease in our cloud cover going into Friday morning. We could even spot some sunshine to start off the day Friday, but our skies then turn cloudy in the afternoon. Out ahead of, like you can see, more rain, snow then later on into Friday afternoon, continuing going into Friday night. By Saturday morning, then is when that next or that following round of this rain, snow will likely then be tapering off. And we're going to spend most of the weekend likely dry. Again, this can carry over into Saturday morning before tapering off. And then I think the vast majority of the weekend will be dry. There's a possibility with this for some light snow accumulations coming our way, maybe some minor impacts into the weekend. And we'll further unravel that here over the next couple of days. But I really want to put the more emphasis here looking ahead near term from these snow showers later tonight going through Thursday. And during this stretch, again, I don't think it can be much. And I think our best potential is late tonight, early tomorrow morning, as after we see that sunrise tomorrow, well, we still can get some snow showers later morning into midday. This time of the year, when that sun is out, it gets hard for that snow to stick, especially to any of these roads and even into grassy surfaces as well. So that being said, I really anticipate through the daytime tomorrow, it's likely on the order of little or no snow accumulation. So I think our best chance is early in the morning hours tomorrow, late tonight. And even then, I think any snow accumulations is going to be less than an inch. And the emphasis, yes, will be on grassy surfaces during this time. I think a lot of these roads do remain wet, maybe some slick spots at most for tomorrow morning's commute. But I think what you're going to notice for the most part is maybe some coatings in spots. A lot of these roads just simply remain wet. I think that's going to be the what a lot of us end up seeing with these snow showers going through tomorrow before, again, they taper off later on tomorrow. And certainly going to be the cold, blustery day. Our temperatures in the 30s, but these wind chills will remain in the 20s. So it is certainly going to be a far cry from the 60s we had today. It's going to be a shock to the system. And yeah, just a whiplash in terms of the weather from one day to the next tomorrow. And we're noticing these chilly temperatures continue going through the weekend. Again, we're watching for that next period of some rain, snow later Friday, continuing into Friday night. By Saturday morning, it tapers off, then a decrease in cloud cover throughout the day Saturday, yielding a good amount of sunshine. I think even late into the day Saturday, but certainly into Sunday, Monday, a lot of sunshine. And it's just a nice stretch of weather. It's still chilly this weekend, but I think overall it's a nice weekend. It's looking gorgeous early next week. Those temperatures will pick back up 50s, 60s, and there's still a lot of sunshine to be had during that stretch early next week. And I would be surprised we could even hit 70 around the middle of next week. So it is a nice stretch of weather early on. And we even look to stay dry Wednesday, but the story then changes into next Thursday. And at that point, we'll be watching for temperatures, not a real big cool down. Notice there's not into the latter part of next week a big drop in temperatures. So, I think next week is looking awfully nice. I think we could string together some 60s next week. We're already going to be close Monday. Maybe we do actually hit it. We're going to, I think, be close by Monday, but that Tuesday going through even into the following weekend, we can string together here with those temperatures near, if not in the 60s. For a lot of that stretch and for a decent amount, it's looking dry as well. I think next week is going to be very nice here into the Ohio Valley. Drew says, good evening. Good evening to you. I'm doing well. How are you? When will the rain change to snow? Likely here with this next batch coming in. It'll be closer to and after midnight tonight. That next batch of precipitation moving in will be primarily as snow likely at that point. So I think most of it will fall to be after midnight tonight, leading into tomorrow morning's commute. Is when we'll notice the bulk of those snow showers is later tonight. How much snow will be on? Yeah, I think it's less than an inch, Drew, on those grassy surfaces. It'll be primarily that as well. I think a lot of these roads just simply remain wet. It's going to be tough for that snow to accumulate on these roads, especially our main roads. If we're dealing with maybe some slick spots, maybe more on those side roads, maybe bridges, overpasses. But I just don't foresee much of a big issue coming our way into tomorrow. I think everything was going to be pretty minimal, minor in terms of any accumulations or impacts with those snow showers going into your Thursday. I think ultimately the bigger story is just cold, blustery conditions. Again, our temperatures are back in the 30s. Wind chills, though, will be in the 20s. We see that persistent wind tomorrow could even be around 15, 20 miles per hour. Again, that's persistent too. And those gusts then can be upwards about 35 miles per hour. So it's a blustery day tomorrow. And just, I think the word that some of us may use is cruel. It's Mother Nature's being cruel coming off of the last couple of days. As nice as it's been today, yesterday, to see that those wind chills back to the 20s. It's going to be a cold day. That's for sure. Drew says, doing better, still getting over the flu. Sorry to hear you had to deal with that. I'm glad you're doing better though. Then how much on Friday? I don't think it's going to be too much. I think we'll dive closer into that tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to be too much coming our way. Maybe some light accumulations later, that late Friday into Friday night, but I don't see anything major. Maybe something light during that time period. Again, the best time for that's going to be Friday night for any of the snow accumulations. It's looking just a bit too warm. The temperatures, by the time it arrives into the evening, are going to start to fall back into the 30s. When we start to see a lot of that precipitation fall, it'll be in the 30s. The reasoning why we can't have some snow in the mix, even though our high is going to be in the mid 40s. And then, Friday night, I think, again, that's the best chance we're going to have when temperatures are falling back further into the 30s. But yeah, I don't foresee too much there. I don't think it's going to be anything major in that regard either, going into late Friday night. So, thankfully we're not tracking anything, big coming our way. These are, fairly minor events, the minimal, minor in terms of accumulations or impacts. I think the next couple rounds of precipitation we're going to have into Thursday as well as late Friday night. And then the weekend, not bad, right? A good amount of sunshine breaking out later Saturday, Sunday. It's chilly, but the winds will be lighter. Wind chill is not going to be as brutal Friday into the weekend is what we're going to see for your Thursday. And then next week, be prepared. It's going to be nice. So we just got to get through. As cruel as Mother Nature is for your Thursday, but I think Mother Nature says, hold on just a few more days. I promise I'm going to make up for it next week as it's looking nice. Christopher says 36 degrees is shocking. We were just at near 70. I know, right? I know. It's a whiplash of weather from one day to the next. I'll tell you, that's why I say tomorrow is certainly going to be a shock to the system coming off of temperatures as mild as they were. Drew says, is the up and down temperatures normal for March? Yeah, we're getting into this transitional season. This is our prime time to deal with not only some, dealing with some gusty winds at times this time of the year, but certainly as well as this up and down pattern. Yeah. This is where we do get more of the drastic temperature swings this time of the year. Next Wednesday near 70, I would take that. Yeah, it's nice, right? As cold as tomorrow is going to be, and it's still rather chilly this weekend. Yeah, look ahead to tomorrow. That's why I say Mother Nature, while it's cruel for tomorrow, make it up for next week. It looks nice. And we're even dealing with those temperatures well in the 60s near 70. I think with dry conditions even holding into next Wednesday. I mean, it's close. We're going to notice that next system moving into Thursday. If the timing gets bumped a bit, maybe moving in later Wednesday. But, as it stands now, that first half of next week looks to stay mainly dry. So looking nice. We're going to take that, into next week. I think a lot of us are going to be fans of the weather next week. It's not too bad. And like I mentioned, you notice that it's not a sharp cutoff in temperatures likely either going into the following weekend. So I think we got a better stretch to deal with that prolonged period there of temperatures near, if not in the 60s for next week. What's the record temperature for next Wednesday? I have to check on that, Drew. I don't think we're going to hit it, though. I imagine it's going to be into the 70s. We could get close to it, but I'll have to check on that, Drew. We had near 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts today. Thank you for the report there, Christopher. Yeah, those winds were whipping, weren't they? We've been persistently seeing those wind gusts in excess of 30, and like you mentioned, near 40 in our area going throughout today. And that wind, it's likely not letting up much overnight or even into tomorrow. So just anticipate that wind continuing, these gusty winds, even going through Thursday. That's why I say those wind chills are going to be quite brutal tomorrow. It's good. That wind's going to have a bite to it. That's for sure, for certain, with those temperatures in the 30s and that breeze that we saw today continuing tomorrow. It's not until tomorrow night that those winds will finally start to die down, and then we'll notice a lighter wind in place for Friday. Christopher says, I love Weather Dr. Dave from Channel 7, teaching me everything about weather. Oh, Dr. Dave. Yeah, he's a staple here in the Ohio Valley, wasn't he, for a long time at Channel 7. Yes. And, so is our chief meteorologist, Jeff Exline. Of course, Kevin Carter. You always got to love Kevin Carter as well. Jeff and Kevin were staples here to the Ohio Valley. Learned a lot. It's been a real privilege to work with Jeff Exline. Worked a little bit with Kevin Carter when I started, and was a privilege working with him as well. But yeah, it's two great guys there to work with as well. It's real staples of the weather here in the Ohio Valley, that's for sure. And Drew, yes, like you mentioned, rest in peace indeed. Yes, it was very sad news to hear that with his passing. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. What are the current wind speeds? Can you show? Yeah, sure. Let's go back to that. We'll jump back to that. Let's go back to our wind gusts here. Give me just a minute and we'll pop that up. Here's a look at those current wind gusts. Let's see, it's loading. And there we go. So we're looking at 31 mile per wind gusts, New Philadelphia. Again, we've seen this at times, near 40 mile per hour wind gusts for these locations, mainly at the Ohio County Airport, New Philadelphia. Over the past few hours, have been observing wind gusts at times closer to 40 miles per hour, but currently not to that extent. 23 Wheeling, 26 Cambridge, 36 Mansfield, Akron, 28 Youngstown, 26 Washington, 22 Pittsburgh. So yeah, still maintaining that breeze. These gusty winds, they're not going anywhere, unfortunately, as we go through the night and tomorrow. Christopher says, Kevin Carter, Jeff were the best. So yeah, right. I know. Yeah, it's great. As far as I know, Kevin Carter's been doing well, Drew. Yeah, as far as I know, Kevin Carter's doing well. It sounds like he's enjoying his retirement and doing well, as far as I know. And like I said, it was a privilege to work with Kevin Carter. It's a very good. I mean, it's just an honor, really, honor, privilege to continue to work with Jeff Exline, two staples of weather here in the Ohio Valley, and it's been quite an honor and a privilege to work with them both and continue to still work with Jeff. It is. Are you looking forward to spring and clocks going forward? Yeah, that time change messes with you so much, doesn't it? That it's hard to get adjusted. I feel like it takes a while to get adjusted to that whenever we're falling back or springing forward. And it really just throws you off. And yeah, I mean, I will say, I enjoy those later sunsets into our summer months. To certainly enjoy that, to see those, evenings prolonged further. And that's certainly enjoyable. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of it, because it really is. It just throws a wrench in everything. It takes some time getting used to it whenever that happens. But yes, I am looking forward to spring. So I am. I'm looking forward to some warmer weather, to get back and enjoy the outdoors again. And I'm certainly a big fan of winter. I love the winter weather. I love snow. But I definitely enjoy the different seasons we have here in the Ohio Valley. I will, for sure. We have major severe weather events this spring and summer. It's certainly possible. Well, it certainly is possible to have more severe weather. You have severe weather events. Absolutely. We'll be keeping an eye on that here the next few months. I like the late sunsets and early sunrise. And yeah, that is the one part. I'm with you, Christopher. That is the one part I do enjoy, is those late sunsets. So maybe in that way, maybe I will just, I'll take it. I'll get through the adjustment period to enjoy that, because I'm with you. I do enjoy those as well. All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. I hope you had a wonderful day, and time to bundle back up tomorrow. There's no doubt. Just be prepared to be a bit shocked as you step out the door, as cold as it's going to be. And those winds are going to have a bite to it tomorrow, as cold as it is. Those wind speeds continuing just to the extent of what we had today. Again, tomorrow, it's going to prove to be some bitterly cold wind chills with those temperatures in the 30s. But again, it's going to feel like it's in the 20s, and likely not any warmer than that as we go through tomorrow, before thankfully they start to lose their bite the weekend, but it's still chilly, highs in the 40s, and then early next week 50s, 60s, looking great. Spring fever full effect again going into next week. Certainly. Again, a couple more comments before we wrap up here. Christopher says, I've been studying weather since Dr. Dave taught me what I need to do to make myself successful. Very cool, man. That's great to hear. I'm glad to hear the enthusiast with the weather, and been studying weather since then. That's very cool. I like that. I see at the 10, 11 time. Sounds good, Drew. Thanks. You're welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in. You could join Drew and me at the 10, 11 o'clock coming up tonight. News 9 at 10 on Fox 9, News 9 to 9, 11. And of course, I'll be right back here tomorrow evening for your latest weather update, as we're going to be tracking at that point that rain, snow moving back in later to the day Friday, continuing for Friday night. So for further details on that, make sure to stay tuned with our next weather update coming up tomorrow evening.